Hey everyone, my name is Bo and I have been traveling all over America, living out of my car, basically living as a nomad for almost 4 years now. And I have gone hiking and camping and exploring in some of the most amazing places, and I've seen some amazing things that most people will never see. But that has not come without extreme hardship, okay? You know, social media has a way of portraying the nomadic lifestyle, or really any lifestyle for that matter, as, you know, stress-free, problem-free, it's all glorious times, all happy times. And I am here to tell you that that is anything but true. Some of the most stressful times of my life have been while living in my car, and so I feel like I need to make a video to shed some light on that. And yeah, so here we're going to talk about 10 reasons why it often sucks to live in a car or van, so stay tuned. All right, now before we get into this video, I just wanted to say that when you live in a vehicle or a van or something, that it is always going to be countercultural. Now, what I mean by countercultural is that it is going to go against the natural flow of society, okay? Society revolves around people that live on private property with a mailing address, such as a house or an apartment, fill in the blank. It does not revolve around people that live in vehicles, okay? You are constantly going to be facing obstacles where you have to be creative, you have to be resourceful, and it requires a lot of mental energy to figure out how to successfully live the nomadic lifestyle. All right, now the first reason why it often sucks to live in your car is going to be the most obvious reason, and it's probably going to be the first thing that people think about when they hear about living in a car, and that is the lack of living space. Okay, this is a car, this is not a house, this is not an apartment. I don't know how many square feet it is, I don't really care because it's a very small number, but I don't even have enough headroom to sit in this car. All right, what I mean is I don't have enough headroom to sit up straight when I'm like in the back of my car relaxing. In case you don't follow my channel, I have a Prius. I built it out to be a camper. And so here I am sitting in the back. I have a sleeping platform that folds out right there. And what I can do to maximize my headspace is pull the chair back so it walks like that. And I can sit like this on my sleeping platform and sit back a little bit, relax a little bit. But look at the ceiling. See, if I go like this and I try to sit up straight, like sitting Indian style like this, look. You think that's comfortable? All right, now the second reason that it often sucks to live in a car that we're going to talk about is probably the other main thing that people think about when they think about, you know, living in a vehicle, and that is hygiene. Okay, when you live in a vehicle, keeping good hygiene is going to be much more difficult. It's not impossible, but most nomadic people that I know and have talked to go about a week in between showers. Now, I actually have unusually good hygiene for someone that lives like this. For me, my limit is about 3 days in between showers. If it's really hot outside and I've been hiking a lot and sweaty, sometimes I'll go 2 days. And then sometimes in an emergency, I'll have to push it to 4 days. Like right now, I'm camping in the desert in southern Arizona, and the closest Planet Fitness to me right now is an hour and 15 minutes away. Okay, now Planet Fitness is where I usually go take showers because I'm a member there and they have showers, and I work out too. But yeah, so if I want to go take a shower right now, I got to drive an hour and 15 minutes. And then like brushing my teeth, a lot of times, you know, when I'm like city dwelling, it's just kind of awkward to like sit there and brush my teeth in my front seat, and you know, just dealing with people and stuff like that, it's kind of a pain. All right, now the third reason that we're going to talk about why it often sucks to live in a vehicle is that it is much harder to get resources. Now, as an example, I will show you my water supply. So living in a tiny little car like a Prius, here is my one water supply. It is a 3-gallon water jug. And as you can imagine, I go through 3 gallons pretty quickly. And yeah, so I mean, just to get this refilled, it's kind of a pain. I have to go inside a store, usually Walmart or Sprouts or Whole Foods. They have these water refill machines. And also, just to give you a little story, I was in Southern California recently, in the desert, just outside of Los Angeles, or no, it was just outside San Diego. And they have this really awesome desert state park, and it's beautiful with free camping everywhere. And I ran low on water one time, and there was only one campground that had water, supposedly. And I went there, and they said they didn't have any clean water, that their water was undrinkable. I was gonna pay them to let me fill up my water jug. So anyway, long story short, I had to drive, I think it was like 30 minutes away to the nearest town just to get 3 gallons of water. And, you know, and also little things like this is my food storage bin. I can only keep so much food in here. This is my 12-volt refrigerator. I can only keep so much food in there. And, you know, I have to go to the grocery store very often. It's usually every 2 to 3, sometimes 4 days that I have to go grocery shopping again, because I have to buy more food because I can't store much in here. All right, now the fourth reason we're going to talk about why it often sucks to live in a vehicle is the lack of community and basically the tendency to be socially isolated. Okay, when you live in a vehicle, it is going to be a lot more difficult to do little things like join a local club or join some kind of organization or be part of a community somewhere. It's not impossible, but for me it kind of is impossible because I travel a lot. I love traveling. I'm in Arizona now. I was just in California and then Utah and then Colorado before that. You know, you can't really build your roots in a certain city or a certain town. Some people do live in their vehicle in one place the whole time, but again, you know, for me, I love traveling, and that's really difficult for me. All right, now the fifth reason we're going to talk about why it often sucks to live in a vehicle is a huge headache for me, and that is legal stuff. Okay, now just to give you an example of legal stuff, okay, you have to figure out, for starters, where to register your car and how to renew your tags, because when you register your car, you have to register it to a physical address. That's just the law. My car is registered to a state on the East Coast right now, and like I said, I'm in Arizona, and my tags are going to expire here in a few months, and so I am still trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. I do not want to drive all the way from the Western USA all the way to the East Coast. That would take me about a little over a week to do, and then driving back would take another week, and that would just be so exhausting and so much gas money and wear and tear on my car. I really do not want to go through that. And then there's like filing your taxes and, you know, just little things like providing your address, like anything that requires an address, like my bank or credit cards, or, you know, fill in the blank. There's so many, like everything requires like a physical address. Like just recently, my debit card with my bank, Wells Fargo, is about to expire, and they sent me an email saying, oh, we just sent you a new debit card in the mail because yours is about to expire. They didn't ask me, they just sent it. I'm like, oh great, what address did they send it to? Now I have a debit card with my name on it floating out who knows where. Now that wasn't too big a deal. I just called them and had them cancel, you know, that debit card. But still, now I got to figure out where to have my new debit card mailed to, and then once I figure out an address, they told me it takes 5 to 7 business days to receive it, so I have to hang around that area for potentially up to like 2 weeks, you know, waiting for my new debit card to come in the mail. And just, I mean, I could give like literally dozens of examples of things like that have happened. All right, now the sixth reason why it often sucks to live in a vehicle is something that pretty much every single nomad has experienced, including myself, and you are almost guaranteed to experience this if you decide to live in a vehicle, and that is car problems. Basically, your car breaking down. Okay, when you live in a vehicle and your car breaks down, it is a whole different scenario than if you live in a house or, you know, an apartment or something. Because when you live in a vehicle, you have to think really fast. You have to figure out how to get the car to the shop, how to fix it real quick on the side of the road, and if you have to bring it to a mechanic, you have to get a hotel and stay there and pay. Usually it's around $100 a night. Now, I have gotten really good and resourceful at working on my car I have like almost become like a full service mechanic while living in my car, simply because I have had stuff break and I've had to fix it myself. But not everyone can do that. Not everyone is able to work on their car. But at the same time, all I've really done is learn how to utilize YouTube and Facebook groups and Google to figure out real quick how to fix car problems that I'm having. So yeah, if you decide to live in a vehicle, you are going to have car problems, and you are going to either have to figure out how to quickly fix it yourself, either on the side of the road or in a public parking lot. My favorite place to do it is Walmart parking lots. Or you're going to have your car towed to a mechanic, and then you're going to have to figure out where to sleep for the night, which is usually in a hotel, and those are expensive. All right, now the 7th reason why it often sucks to live in a vehicle is going to the bathroom, especially going number 2. Okay, I have been in many situations where I was kind of stranded somewhere and had to go to the bathroom really bad, and there was no bathrooms anywhere near. Like one time when I was in New York City, actually, and it was like kind of during the COVID pandemic, I drank a cup of coffee and all of a sudden I had to go to the bathroom because coffee always has like a laxative effect on me. And I was stuck. I think I was in Brooklyn, like right where Brooklyn meets Manhattan. That's a very congested area. And I was stuck. I had nowhere to go to the bathroom. And it was bumper to bumper traffic. And that was a really bad situation. A lot of people struggle with this, especially like if you wake up in the middle of the night and you have to go. That can be a big problem. I know a lot of people will go number 2 in a bag inside their car. And that I tried that a few times, and that was really, really nasty. And the reason it was so nasty is because I would even like triple bag it, and it would still like reek up my car of that smell. And I would have to drive to like somewhere that had a public trash can and throw it away, and the whole drive there, my car is just reeking of it. You know, and I know women struggle with this also because, you know, they can't just go number 1 in like a bottle like guys can. My favorite thing to use is a Gatorade bottle when I'm inside my car, especially when like I'm sleeping at night. So yeah, going to the bathroom while living in a vehicle is often very problematic. All right, now the 8th reason why it often sucks to live in a vehicle is receiving mail. Okay, now this kind of goes on with the legal stuff aspect, but you know, with my lifestyle and how I am always needing to order stuff off the internet, I am often kind of stranded in certain areas while I'm waiting on a package. That really sucks. Now I have figured out how to receive mail while living in my car, like when I order something off the internet. But if you there's pretty much no way to receive like automated mail, like whether it's bank statements from your bank or, you know, fill in the blank, it could be anything. Yeah, it's very hard to receive mail. It takes a lot of planning, a lot of strategizing, and like I said, you know, a lot of times I will order something and it will, you know, take a while to get here, and I will literally have to sit in that area for however many days it takes just to get that package. All right, now the 9th reason why it often sucks to live in a vehicle kind of goes in with the first thing we talked about, but that is a lack of privacy. If somebody is in a city or suburb kind of area and they just kind of don't want to be around anyone and they just want to get alone and you know, just have that alone time, I don't have an apartment to go back to. I don't have, the only thing I can do when I'm in a city area is I can go sit in my car. That's it. Even if I go to a city park or a county park, like in those kind of areas, there's no privacy. Now, right now, I am actually, like I said, I'm camping in the desert in Arizona right now, and there's a lot of privacy here. I love these kind of areas. See, I've got a nice dispersed campsite. There's no one out here. The only person within eyesight is there's an RV right there. They are way down there, but I'm not really worried about that. But yeah, when you live in a vehicle, the only true privacy you're gonna get is at spots like this. Now, these kind of spots are isolated. I am very far away from any major city, so pretty much it's either I get around people with zero privacy in the city areas, or I come out here and it's completely isolated, but I have privacy. So it's kind of like one or the other. All right, now the 10th and final reason that we're going to talk about why it often sucks to live in a vehicle is finding a spot to sleep every single night. So every single night you have to find a place that is free, that is safe, and that is, you know, close by. Sometimes I will have to drive 30, 45, sometimes even like an hour or more away just to get to a place that is safe and free. Now, sometimes it's really easy. Sometimes there is just like almost unlimited, you know, areas to go camping and park for the night. But like if you're in an area like the East Coast, for example, like the first 3 years of living in my car, I was on the East Coast. And on the East Coast, it is like everything's private property, no overnight parking at pretty much everywhere. I don't know how I managed to do that for 3 years, but somehow I did. And I think it's largely because I have a Prius, and a Prius is so stealth, so I was able to just like park and sleep anywhere. But yeah, I mean, it requires a lot of mental energy and a lot of planning usually to find a new spot every single night to sleep. All right, so that's it. That's 10 reasons why it often sucks to live in a vehicle. I have had a lot of people comment and email me and tell me that I inspired them to live in a car or a Prius, or just, you know, go around living as a nomad in general. So I feel like I needed to make this video so people understand these things before they make a decision like that. All right, so thanks a lot. Have a good one, and I will see you in the next video.